This will be the first of a couple videos on how to add activities to your Buzz class. So the first thing you want to do is you want to be in the student portal and go to your appropriate Buzz domain, sign in, and choose the class that you want to add activities or assignments to. So I'm going to go to this course, and once again you always want to default to this editor button, this pencil. So in a previous video we added some of our objectives, and now we're going to add activities. And where we add activities is right here in this add to whatever the course name is. So I'm going to click on that, and for right now we're just going to do easy assignments. So assignments are my go-to place when I send stuff out to kids. So I say assignment, and I'm going to give this a title. Okay. I can, if you want to put any notes to students about what to do, put it in the content here. Okay, because if you put it in where it says instructor notes to students, it's like this little tiny box in the top right of their screen that they most likely will not see. And you can change the font and make it pop and all that other stuff. You can put a YouTube link, you can do images, whatever you need to do, a link to, hyperlink to a web page, whatever it is you need. At this point you can add objectives if that's what you want to do right now. So I'm just going to add a few. Obviously they don't apply, this is just for demo purposes. The gradebook. Couple things you want to know in here, and we'll spend more time on gradebook later, but right now, depending on how you want the kids to submit the assignment, the one thing you really want to focus on here is this student Dropbox under gradebook. Right now it's set at none, but what we liked to do was we like to either give them a single document or multiple document option. They can also just paste a URL or a link in there. But this is really nice for when they need to attach, let's say, a Google Drive file, something like that. We'll talk about student grouping later. Don't worry about navigation. That's going to come as you're a little more advanced in Buzz. And don't worry about history. So we've got our activity, our gradebook, navigation. So the activity, put notes to the students here. So turn in the completed five-paragraph paper. Kind of at a loss for what to put there. Here's a really, really important hint for this. So a lot of us use Google Classroom, and the really cool thing about Google Classroom is that it allows you to attach a Google file, like a Google Doc, and what it'll do is it will send that out to your learners, and it will create an individual copy of that document for every single learner. And it doesn't junk up your inbox, and it's pretty slick. Well, we found a little bit of a workaround for this with Buzz. So what we've done is I'm just going to grab some Google document that I have, and let's say that this is something that I want every student to have, every learner to have, but I want them to edit it for themselves. So I'm going to grab the URL and I'm going to copy it. So right click, copy. And in Buzz, I'm going to paste, or I'm going to insert a link. So I'm going to put the URL there. Whatever, I'm kind of not being very creative with this. Here's what's super, super important. At the end of this URL, you see the word edit? You want to grab all that and you want to replace that with the word copy. And I'm going to show you what that's going to do. It's really cool. So I'm going to say OK. Okay, and now it says Google Doc presentation. Doesn't match anything in here, but I'm going to say save. Now, if I wanted to see this as a learner sees it, over here, this is my activities, like a play button. If I click on that, it kind of gives me a student view. So right here is my Buzz demo assignment number 1. So watch what happens. I'm going to open that up, and when I click on this link, it's going to ask me, would you like to make a copy? So that way you can send out sort of the framework for the assignment that you want the kids to work on. This will force them to make a copy. They'll make the copy. They should move it to a shared Google folder. So for example, in the STEAM buildings, each learner created a folder called 2017-2018 Learning, and they changed the sharing settings of that folder to anyone at TPS with the link. Or anyone at TPS, I think is what it was. So that way, when the teachers would open up assignments that the learners had shared through Buzz, they could see those. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. I don't need to, well, I can make a copy. I'll go ahead and do that. And right now it says copy of, and so I would, if I were a learner, put my name here and rename it however I wanted to. So the other nice thing is right here, remember we set up the student Dropbox? Show Dropbox. If I click on this, so it says I have to be enrolled as a student to submit. What it's going to do is, as a student, it's going to give me the ability to insert a Google document here. Okay, and then they say submit, and they're good to go.